Hey everyone, welcome back to my vlog, and thanks a lot for showing so much love and support. And so today topic is SQL Server license and virtualization calculation. So basically, this is one of the very you can say a complicated and in-demand topic, and that's why I'm making a video on this. And the reason is also that many people are facing issue in terms of the very base level calculation. Obviously, they have a very good experience in working with the SQL servers deployments, but uh, when they reach out to me, they are facing at a issue at a very base level. So I thought to address this. So let's start, and it would be a very basic calculation knowledge video for SQL Server. Let's begin. So firstly, uh, before understanding the SQL Server licensing model, we need to understand there are two editions which are commercially used. One is Enterprise and the other is Standard. And by licensing model, I mean to say is that the ways by which we can license a SQL Server. So a standard can be licensed by a server plus cal model and also by per core licensing model. And an enterprise, it can only be licensed by per core. So what you need to understand in this is that how these editions are different. How in the coming slides you will be seeing that when we license with server or cal, what is the difference? When we license it with Perco, what is the difference? What is the difference when we talk in terms of virtualization rights? What's the difference when we talk in terms of usage rights? So that's the reason I am just talking about and moving more towards the calculation parts and rather than deep diving into the theory part of understanding server or standard or enterprise. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. So first, understand what is core based licensing. It's one of the very important and very beneficial and widely used licensing method. So in this, just understand, you just need to count the number of cores in the server. By that number of cores, just remember that a minimum of 4 core licenses are required per server. Oh, so sorry, per processor. So, till the time it is met, all is fine, everything is compliant. And in this core based licensing, the best benefit I would say is this, that we don't require any client access licenses, that is CALs, for any internal or external users. Please note this, if you want to just keep in mind that we don't require any CALs for core based licensing. Now, with a quick example, I would like to tell you, uh, an organization is running a SQL Server Standard 2022 having two processors with 2 core each. Now they have 20 users, and now we need to calculate number of SQL Server licenses required and CALs required, CALs licenses required. So as we can see on the figure as well, there are in the blue there are two processors which is two physical core. So with the rule that minimum 4 licenses are required per processor, so here as per that rule we will require only 8 core licenses, and we don't require any CALs for 20 users. Now, server and CAL licensing model. So under the server and CAL licensing model, each operating system environment running SQL Server or any of its components must have a single or you can say a SQL Server license assigned to the physical server. And in this, you need to have CALs to give access to users. CALs can be of two types, which can be a device CAL, can be a user CAL. I have not given this on the sheet just, but for your knowledge, I can say it is just of two types. Now, that is the main difference when we talk about this. Obviously, there is a price difference which we won't be talking, but yeah, in this serverless cal model, we have to take cals separately or buy cals separately. And remember this, for the standard part, standard edition one, we can use this. For enterprise edition, we can't go by server and cal licensing model. Now again, we have almost the same example, but with a bit difference. So here we have a SQL standard server with two processors. They have again 20 users, and the same question: how many SQL Server licenses are required, and how many CALs need to procure? As I said, in this we just license the physical server. So one physical server and 20 user CAL license. That's all what we require in this. I hope you're able to understand. You can reach out to me in terms of any queries if you have. Now let's understand the virtualization. You know, this part is very important aspect of you can say the SQL licensing. Why? Because many people get confused. You know, in different why there is different in number of machines, how to calculate the VMs. So let's go one by one. And these four rules, please remember, please make a note because this would be very helpful while calculations. First is the server cal addition. If we are using or licensing model of server plus cal for a standard one, because you can only use for standard one, we for every server license we get one virtual machine rights. This is the rule. Please note it. Secondly, if we have SQL standard or enterprise core licenses, we are using the core licensing model either for standard or either for enterprise. Here we are not licensing the physical server, we are licensing the virtual machines. So we go by the rule that we require at least 4 core licenses per processor, or you can say a 4 core licenses with software assurance to run one virtual machine. That means to run SQL Server on virtual machine, we require at least 4 core licenses with software assurance. Third is here we are licensing the physical core, which is unlike in the previous where we were licensing the virtual machines only or the virtual cores. Here, if we license all the physical core of the enterprise edition, so we get to run one virtual machine per core licenses. For example, if we have 16 core licenses, we can run that on 16 virtual machines. And lastly, if you have SQL Enterprise Core license with software assurance, you can run your virtual machines or your on unlimited numbers. Okay, on unlimited numbers instances. Let's understand these things with a very creative example. So you can see there are 3 virtual machines with the given cores of 2, 4, and 6 respectively. You can see here we need for 2 virtual cores there is a rule that we require how much, at least 4 core licenses. So that's why license number return under 2 is 4. In the second virtual machine we can see there are 4 cores, so at least we require minimum of 4. So here only 4 is required. Now in the third one there are 6 virtual cores, so if we go by that rule, we will require as much number as the number of cores are. So here 6 licenses are required. So this is the basic of understanding or licensing individual virtual machines we discussed. I am just taking it again with an example which we discussed earlier. Okay, as a second part. So now licensing for unlimited virtualization. Many people ask, okay, then how we can license it with how we can get the unlimited virtualization. For that, you need to firstly have enterprise edition for SQL Server. And if you are licensing the complete and all the physical cores, suppose there are 12 physical cores you're licensing, you have to buy 12 physical core licenses. If you have a, a software assurance in place, you can deploy them on unlimited virtualization. But in case you don't have a software assurance, you can only apply it on 12 virtual machines only. So you can see how software assurance makes a difference, how the presence of software assurance uh, you know makes all the important difference, or the importance of having it. So this was it, guys, to make you understand how we license the virtual machines, how we license the basic cores or the physical servers in SQL for SQL. I know this was a very short video, but it is very short in terms for doing a sequel. Sequel is a very big topic, and we will be making another lot of videos. But for now, to make you understand the basics, I had just made a short video. I hope you liked it. I know it was a bit too fast, maybe, but it covers all the basic concepts. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.